Yes, it is another lesson. It's another fretboard one. I hope you appreciate this hat. I've been dropping clues about this all through the things about the FBI because somebody posted in a Facebook group the fretboard instructor. So that's what today is all about. It's fretboard instruction, and hopefully this is going to be something that will stick with you forever and help you to remember and memorize that fretboard. I have got on-screen graphics queued up. So essentially, let me let you in on what's going to happen today. This might be a long lesson. If you are looking for sort of a 10-minute fix, a 10-minute lesson, then then I am not going to be doing that. I'm going to get in depth, but hopefully I'm going to make it fun, yeah? And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to test your brain with, and it mentioned this weird trick. And the weird trick is really, really pertinent when it comes to learning your fretboard, and also for things like sight reading and just being able to quick think your way. There's a difference between memorizing and knowing. So that's what we're trying to get into with this today. So this will be an in-depth lesson. If you're looking for something that just scratches the surface, then you might want to check out some of my other videos. I do like to delve into the fretboard and how it works and offer as many perspectives as I possibly can. If you've never been on my channel before, I'm Ricky. I'm a guitar teacher in Huddersfield in the UK, and I've been teaching guitar for about 30 years. I own a school of rock. We're currently shut at the minute, but we're teaching lessons online just to keep that momentum going for our students. We do band stuff and all sorts of stuff. We've got a team of like 15 tutors. It's an awesome place. But this is my other awesome place with you guys. You guys who've turned up in the chat today, I super appreciate your time. So let's crack on with today's lesson. How to memorize the fretboard in 24 hours or less. Now, hopefully, the things I'm going to show you today are going to help you to really get into that, dig into it, and understand the fretboard, and be able to find the notes and find and name any note on the fretboard. Now, the thing about it is you need to know your musical alphabet. If you don't know your musical alphabet, then I'll drop a link in the description to the musical alphabet video. But the long and short of it is the musical alphabet goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then it stops. There's no H. Now, what I want you to do is, guys, I want you to think, yeah? I want you to think about this, and I want you to feel the mental friction. This is the difference between memorizing and knowing, like I said. So if I said to you, yeah, and you can say it out loud if you want to, if I said to you right now, count to 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's pretty easy. I'm sure you'll find that is super easy. You don't have to think about it too much. It just happens because it's something that you know. Now, equally, because we live in the space age, if you count backwards, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that's easy as well. I'm sure you'll agree. Does that make sense? Yeah? If you just do that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That makes sense? Okay? Is that cool? Right, okay. Here's the thing. What I want you to do is say the musical alphabet all the way from A to G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Right, now backwards. Yeah? Now, can you feel that? Can you feel that tension? Can you feel that mental friction? Because the thing is, you haven't memorized it. The 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 works because we live in the space age. We've grown up with it. It's conditioned into our thinking. It's just something that's a kind of a thing that will exist in society. So what I'm going to do first for this lesson to work is I'm going to show you a weird trick to be able to do that frictionless thinking. You just know it. And how I do this is with a stupid story, right? Now, I apologize in advance. This story it's really dumb, yeah? It's a dumb story. I'm not claiming that this story is brilliant, but I know one thing, it works, yeah? Because we're going to do this exercise after that we just did there. And you're going to have a think, and you're going to have a feel if that mental friction is still there, or if you have actually learnt your musical alphabet backwards. And that's what we're going to get into now. So this is the musical alphabet backwards. And I'm going to tell you this story here. I apologize for the story, but it works. And that's all that matters to me. Now, if you look at this here, this is the musical alphabet backwards. And I'm going to be liberal with my understanding of how my American friends talk here. So we will, if you excuse me that, then hopefully that'll be forgivable. Here you can see we have B.A. Baracus from the A-Team. Now, if you're old enough to know who the A-Team are, then you will recognize this guy. This is B.A. Baracus. And you can see there is a 7-letter sequence, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. That's G, F, E, D, C, B, A. The more astute of you will already realise that this is the musical alphabet backwards. But what we want to do is get it so that you know it. You know it. You don't memorise it, you know it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a story, because stories help you to remember things. We have B-A, and you can see the last 2 letters of that image there, in that bubble, that speech bubble, says B-A. Now, if you know the opening of the A-Team, you will know that the A-Team are wanted by the FBI. And hence the FBI hat. Now, hopefully you get the meaning of these cryptic little illustrations I was putting up for the teaser for this lesson. So the FBI, someone who works for the FBI, is a Fed. Type it in the comments. Somebody who works for the FBI is what? Yeah, so type that in the comments. Is a Fed. And how do you spell Fed? Well, you spell it F-E-D. Yeah, so you say it. If you say it, F-E-D. So we've got B-A, and we know that the Feds are after the guys from the A-Team. So we have B-A there, and we know he's wanted because it's on America's Most Wanted. I don't know if that's actually still a show in the States, but America's Most Wanted. There's a reward for him. And this is where I'm going to take liberties here, guys. When American kids make an exclamation, they say, "Gee, Mom." Yeah, we're going all American apple pie here. Yeah, so G, Fed, it's a bad story. And then C, the kid can see BA. And he's telling the FBI dude. He's telling him because he wants the reward, because he wants to buy some candy. This is what it's all about. It's a stupid, dumb story. But if you look at that sequence, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Now, there's a few other ways to look at this. Sometimes you might text somebody and they say, they used to, "Are you coming around tonight?" And if you say, "No, I'm not coming around tonight," they say CBA. In the UK, that means something completely different. If you know what that means, type it in the comments. Yeah, so CBA means can't be. Basically, it's UK for can't be arsed. Can't be bothered, right? Okay, so G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Hopefully, that is in your head. Just say it out loud 5 times. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. G, Mom, it is. Yes, so wonderful. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Say it 5 times. Okay, so now we have a way to be able to say that musical alphabet backwards. Now I'm going to challenge you. What I want you to do is I want you to count to 10 now. Yeah, so do it now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No friction. No friction in your thinking. Okay, now I want you to count backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No friction. It's easy to think that sequence. The musical alphabet going up from A to G is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now going backwards, what do we get? G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Or G, Fed, C, B, A. Think of it that way. Split the Fed up into F, E, D. Well, let's hope you don't get fed up with this when you're trying to learn it. Yeah, I'm dropping all these things in here to try and to reinforce it. Yeah, so hopefully, guys, this makes sense. Now, the reason it makes sense is, like I say, when you do sight reading, those of you who are maybe a little bit scared of sight reading, then you will come to discover quickly that most melodies descend in pitch, they go down. So learning musical alphabet backwards is really going to help with this. But it's also going to help us to navigate the fretboard, yeah, because next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you 3 patterns. Now, I'm reading from my notes here. These 3 patterns, they are something that you need to know as a guitar player anyhow. These 3 patterns are the 3 minor modes of C major. Yeah, so these are modes, you know, so this is a way to get into modes, kind of, but not think about it too much. I don't want you to start thinking, you know, oh, does Joe Satriani and Steve Vai. No, none of that. We're looking at these as patterns, and these are box patterns, and we're going to look at these as being caged mode box patterns, the 3 minors. And the first pattern, so let's just change to this screen here. Right, so here is the fretboard. Notice on this fretboard, I have not put the sharps and the flats in, because generally I find that most of the time when you get a new book on how to learn guitar or something, you will see that this here has got all the sharps and the flats in. It's visually noisy. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. It's too much. It's overload. So what we need to do is basically break it down. And I'm here to tell you that we can break this whole fretboard down using 3 caged minor mode patterns. You can think of it like that. You could just learn the patterns. Just learn the patterns. You can even just let go of the fact that they are modes. Just learn the 3 patterns, join them up. But this way, what we're going to do is we're going to take our musical alphabet, yeah, and we're going to use it in a way. We're going to split this up. So you can see there's the beautiful fretboard. Take notice that the open strings are repeated at the 12th fret as well. So it gets repeated at the 12th fret. The first pattern we are going to add in here is what I call zone 1, yeah, is this caged Phrygian mode. And you can see from this, it covers the open strings up to the 3rd fret, okay? Open strings up to the 3rd fret. I'm going to move my guitar here and I'm going to show you how we play this. Now, what we want to do is we want to stay true to the musical alphabet. We only want to play the musical alphabet in its chunks of ascending as A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But if we're going backwards, we're going to go G, F, E, D, C, B, A. So if you look here, I'm going to play E, F, G. I've got to the end of my musical alphabet there, and I've taken care of everything that I needed to take care of on that E string. Now I'm going to start the musical alphabet again. I'm going to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So that gives me my musical alphabet all the way up from A to G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now, I really, really recommend you say it as you play it. There's a power of intent. There's something that makes things more tangible and solid if you say as you play it. So if you say the notes out loud as you play them, it will make the connection stronger in your brain. The association with the label, because these letters don't really mean anything. They're just labels for places you put your fingers. Yeah, they have no real relationship to each other. We just use them. They're just, like I say, they're just labels. So, E, F, G. I've got to the end of my musical alphabet. I start it again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Here we go again. Right. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You can see we've got to the end of our musical alphabet there. And that's ascending, that's going up. But what about going backwards? You can see that this might be tricky. This is why we learnt our little story, the stupid story, so that we can really dig into knowing where these notes are, but not just when you're going down that way, going up as well. Watch this. So I go G, F, E, D, C, B, A. G fed, C, B, A. Do you dig it? Can you see what I'm saying here? So look at this one here. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. There's the next chunk gone. And then we go G, F, E. That has taken care of all of those notes there. Now I'm doing positional playing. If you're wondering about the fingerings, I will do a lesson on the cage modes and with fingerings and everything else like that at some point. But here's what I'm saying, guys, is this is one way we're going to do this. Now you can see that's zone 1 taken care of. Now next zone is, we're going to put up here is zone 2. This covers, you can see, 5 frets. And when you sight read, this is a beautiful thing, because this means that you aren't stuck in this first 3 frets. When you learn to sight read or anything like that, or read the notes, they're always shown down here in the first 3 frets. But the thing is, the sound of fretted notes versus open strings, they don't really complement each other as much as just fretted notes. And this, if you start here somewhere in the middle of the neck, then it gives you scope for digging into the voicings that the guitar neck has to offer. Go down, you get deeper voicings. Go up, you get higher voicings. So it allows you to have like a center point to stretch out and reach out as well. Anyhow, so obviously, hopefully you're seeing this already, guys, that if I play this again and I go from this 5th fret here, I'm on the 5th fret, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There you go. That's the A, B, C, D, E, F, G done with. And then I'm going to go A, a little bit tricky here, I have to go to the 4th fret, B, C, D. Hopefully that makes sense there. E, F, G, and I've completed my alphabet again there. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then we finish it off on the thin E string with an A, B, C, because anything that happens on the thin E string happens on the thick E string. They are a reflection of each other. I'll just take a little sip of water. Right, okay, hopefully that makes sense. Now, here's where G fed CBA comes in again. Look, so we go CBA, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. So not only do you get the option of finding your notes going that way, you get the option of finding your notes going this way. So that's the second pattern. That's zone 2, if you want to think of it in that way. So the next zone we have is zone 3. This is, and I should have mentioned actually that the other pattern was the Aeolian. And let me just go back to that one. That last one there, that's the Aeolian pattern. That's the natural minor. That, if you played those notes there over an A minor chord, it would sound like a ballad. It would sound really beautiful. And worth noting, a little teaser here. Look, the minor pentatonic's hidden in there. Look, can you see it? Can you see where the minor pentatonic is? Yeah, it's there. Right, okay. Anyhow, so here we go. On to zone 3. This is zone 3. Zone 3 then takes us up to the 10th fret here, guys. So we're at the 10th fret. And then what we do is we get, on this one, it starts on D. You can see here, D, E, F, G. We've got to the end of our musical alphabet there. So we're going to start again. So we're going to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, then we jump over. Notice that little jump. We have to compensate for the kink in the tuning there, remember? So then we go A, B, C, D, E, F. Right, okay, it's kind of simple really when you think about it. All you have to do is remember those 7 alphabet letters going the normal way, but because we know G fed CBA, G, F, E, D, CBA, we can turn that and go backwards. Here we go, F, E, D, fed, CBA. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. G, F, E, D. Hopefully it means that you can spot all these notes. This is our Dorian pattern. The beautiful thing is you could use these standalone. Look here, I'll give you a little example. This is a D minor 7. So you can see that you could use this actually over your chords. If you don't know that D minor 7, there's a D minor. So the thing is, this is going to give you that Santana sort of sound, which is really nice. And you can also see hidden inside there, guys. Just have a look. See if you can see it. Can you spot it? Almost like a word search. Look at it. Can you see the minor pentatonic living inside that scale as well? Yeah, it's pretty cool, is that, if you think about it. And if we add all three together, you can see we have covered the whole of the neck. You can see that we've got all those notes there. That it's a good way to find those notes. But it's this idea of going from north to south, from high to low physically. Run these shapes, say them as you play them, okay? Okay, say them as you play them, and then they will stick. Because when you were a kid, you know, your mum gave you a ball and she said ball, and you learned to say ball. You know, it's the same principle. So you need to do that. You need to put that into practice. Those there. Don't forget, guys, I've done a PDF as well for this. So don't feel you have to memorize all this stuff, you know, just by watching the video once. But hopefully it makes sense. You know, there's only 3 patterns that you have to learn here, really. There's only 3 patterns. So essentially, that gives us the ability to find any natural note. Like I say, there's no sharps or flats in there. But, okay, we're going to get to the point where we need to put some sharps or flats in there, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, 6th fret of the D string. So if I get the 6th fret of the D string here, and I want to know what that note is, here's another way to get at it. Yeah, it's another way to get at it, but this is more of a scale approach, and it's a kind of a box pattern approach, if you will. Let me just press 0 there, so you can see we get that note there. Now what I've done is I can go, I'll just swivel around that way. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Move it up. We find this note relative to the natural. Well, the naturals are the ones that you need to peg first. You get the naturals down, then you add the sharps and the flats after. Only process them when you need to. Personally, I think it's a waste of time when you move up from the D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp. Ugh. It's awful, yeah? Stop doing it. You don't need to. Yeah, so the 6th fret on that note there. Yeah, to G sharp. If you think to yourself, that's G and that's A, it's also A flat. There's a video as well that I've done about sharps and flats on there. Well, let's do another one. Let's have a look at this one. Okay, so we're in the Dorian pattern here. We're in the 3rd pattern here. So we're up here somewhere. Let's do this one. Let's come backwards on this one. So we're going to go F, E, D, C, B, A, G. That 11th fret. There I can see G flat or F sharp. Yep. This gives us options to be able to find those notes. So you find those notes after. Because if you try and memorize all of that nonsense, you will fail. You will fail. It's real, and that's why people don't learn the fretboard. And the thing is, let me just switch back to this. And the thing is, you need to learn the fretboard, because if you don't, you're lost. I'm going to do some lessons as well. That I'm going to talk to you about something else. I see it as there's only 4 things that we really need to focus in on when we're learning guitar. And 3 of them are pitch-based. They're chords, scales, and arpeggios. And the 4th one is rhythm. You know, and I've been doing some strumming videos, but I'm going to get into the chord scales and arpeggios and how they link to each other and how they're related. And once you see that, then everything starts to open up. The genre doesn't matter. Once you know the fretboard, everything unlocks. That's why I put that there. Unlock your fretboard. Unlock your fretboard, and then you can unlock your creativity. This is the thing that I want you to remember here, guys. You know, so you don't need to struggle. You don't need to struggle with this. Like I say, there are other videos on here. My most popular video, one with the back lens and down goes Charles's father, I'm redoing it because it looks like it was filmed with a sock. Yeah, it's going to be updated. That's another perspective. You know, there are lots of perspectives out there, and there's some great videos out there on YouTube, you know, about how to memorize your fretboard. This is one of my perspectives. I thought I'd share this with you guys. If you feel you've got some value from this lesson, this is YouTube obligatory law from creator's perspective. We have to say this. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any awesome stuff like this. Make sure you drop a comment in the video below, guys. It's super important. If you got something from it and you learned something, you know, help your fretboard instructor out and drop a comment below. Make sure you hit that like and do all that other stuff. I've got more super lessons coming up for you soon, so I appreciate you taking your time to come in here, and you guys are awesome, and I love the comments and I love the interactions with you. So thank you very much for today. I'm going to end this stream now.